ang hirap ng buhay na pinagdaanan ko, ayaw kong madaanan ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Kaya I hope na ang ating bansa umunlad, magkaisa tayo, ipagdasal natin ang ating mga leader dahil walang imposible sa Panginoon pag tayo ay nagdarasal. Nung ako ay naupong senador, hindi ko po talaga kinompromise yung posisyon ko kasi yung commitment ko sa taong bayan, manatiling commitment ko sa kanila habang ako'y pinagkakatiwalaan at nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno.
Masakit lang isipin, Mr. President, na ang programa na para sa mga mahihirap, tapos may mga tao na kumokontra. Kasi pagka maganda yung ginagawa para sa mga mahihirap, dahil kalaban ka, kukontrahin ka. Nakakabuti naman sa taong bayan. Pagkakalaban ka, ganun. Kaya walang progreso, walang kaunlaran ang bansa natin dahil after ng administration ng isang leader, pag mapalitan siya, hindi pagpatuloy yung programa niya na maganda para sa taong bayan. Pagkatapos naman ng isa, yung magandang programa niya, mahinto na naman, ibang programa na naman. Bakit hindi natin suportahan? Kahit na ba, ang isang politiko, ang puso para talaga sa taong bayan o tumulong, kung maganda yung programa, dapat suportahan na lang. Ang problema, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda. Lahat ba yung mga programa ng mga nakaraang leaders ay hindi maganda? Pagdating sa mga mahihirap, nasasaktan ako pagka binabati ko yung mga programa para sa kanila. Diyan ako galing sa pagiging mahirap, yung walang makain sa isang araw. Naranasan ko yun. Kaya ako, anumang darating ko, anumang pera, anong halaga ang nakamtan ko sa buhay, hindi mahalaga para sa akin yan. Ang importante, makatulong ako sa taong bayan, makatulong ako sa kapwa ko. We came to this world naked and we will depart alone and naked. Wala tayong madalala. Iiwanan natin lahat yan. Ipaglalaban ko ang karapatan ng mga mahirap na tao.
Atin itong bansa, gusto ko po na tayong lahat nagtutulungan para umunlad ang ating bansa, para umasinso ang bawat Pilipino. Mga kababayan ko, mga nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno, magkaisa tayo. Isipin natin na ang mga kababayan natin nagugutom, nahihirapan. Yung iba, walang sariling tahanan, natutulog sa kalye lamang. Tayo, lahat ay pari-parihong tao, may puso na nararamdaman. Naway, bawat isa sa atin, lahat tayo, accountable tayo pagharap natin sa Panginoon. Lagi kong sinasabi, kahit ano pa kayaman mo, kahit ikaw pa pinakasikat sa buong mundo, pag namatay tayo, wala tayong madadala kahit piso. Ang Manny Pacquiao, walang karapatan magibang kahit kanino. Dahil galing po ako sa hirap. Therefore, ang aking gagawin, tutulungan yung mga kasama kong naiiwan doon sa laylayan. Tutulungan sila. Ang dasal ko palagi sa kanila na umasinso din sila sa buhay at makaahon din, guminhawa sa buhay. Kaya tayong lahat, mga kababayan ko, sama-sama tayo, magkaisa tayo para sa pag-unlad ng ating bansa, tayong lahat magtutulungan.
Palma. Oh, man. That's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game. To Del Fuentes. Oh, wow. Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Maloria is open. 3-point. Oh, my goodness. He's a jumper by Robin Celis. Nataliano has time. Now it's Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
We return for the third time dito po sa Olivares College and Nation in Parañaque City. And today, we honor all the amazing men and women who work tirelessly every day. We have our utility guys, our table officials, our stat guys, our cameramen, our referees, our bouncers. At yan, nakikita nyo si Kuya Ton, of course, our venue announcer Richard Tampos. And all of these guys have been traveling all around the Philippines, working very hard. Nandito po sila umaga pa lang just to cover the games for you dito sa Marikina Pilipinas Basketball League. And hello po mga kaliga, Ken Pangilinan alongside Coach Mike Perez. Very fitting that I'm working with one of the most hardworking analysts today in Coach Mike.
No, I think that's too much, but thank you, Ken. Really enjoy having coverage of games here in MPBL.
And of course, you could watch us live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays starting at 6 p.m. And of course, Coach Mike, we introduce now our third member for panel, and she did the Labor Day game days last year, Miss Sydney Crespo, who has a special report for us. Sid.
Magandang hapon, Ken and Coach Mike. Pati sa ating mga kaliga na panigurado ay nagpapahinga ngayong Labor Day. No? Sa araw na to, madalas nga nating pinag-uusapan yung hard work at sakripisyo ng ating mga manggagawa. At dito sa MPBL, araw-araw na nating nakikita yan saan mang sulok ng ating venue. Para sa ating teams ngayon, kita natin yung sakripisyo ng Mindoro bilang hinahanap nila yung kanilang identity as a new unit this season. Pinagtatrabahuhan daw nila how to close out games successfully. At para naman sa Marikina, marami rin silang sakripisyo dahil gusto nang ituloy ang kanilang magandang panalo last game. Marami pa akong kwento sa inyo, but for now, back to you guys.
Alright, should be an interesting game. And ito, sisilipin natin ang ating Labor Day Thursday triple header. It will begin with Mindoro. They will take on Marikina, followed by the Muntinlupa Cagers. And they will try to stay on top of the South Division. They will square off against the Manila Batang Quiapo. And to cap things off, Paranaque will try to get their first home win, and they will take on the Cebu Classic. And ngayon, Coach Mike, sisilipin na natin ang ating team standings both in the North and South Division. Unahin na natin itong North Division kung saan nagkaarambola ulit, no? Yung mga teams, especially in that top 4. We saw San Juan win yesterday, but here, Manila still lagging behind. But nakikita natin, no, ang dami pang pwede mangyari still early here in the season.
Oh, tsaka patuloy na itong Nueva Ecija at San Juan, ang dalawang teams na wala pang nakakatalo in so far as the games that they played. Well, later on, it's Manila Batang Quiapo wanting to, get another win, and then Marikina this time would want to follow up their first win with QC and start another win streak for them.
And those teams trying to catch yung mga nasa top 8, and meanwhile in the South Division as a result of Basilan's loss yesterday. And nakikita natin Mindoro on the outside as well as Cebu. They will play today. Mayroon silang pagkakataon na umangat dito. And of course, we will feature first itong Mindoro Tamaraws. They will play against Marikina today. But in their last game, kalaban nila itong Pampanga Giant Lanterns. That was in Orion, Bataan. And they gave a good account of themselves, Coach Mike, in this game.
Yeah, and a 4-point loss. They just really stumbled out of the gates after the first quarter. They tried to recover and outscored the defending champions in the second, but then they got outscored really in the third quarter, leading up to their loss. They did try some comeback attempts, pero hindi talaga kanya. Bam Bam Gamalinda had 24, Wendell Comboy had 18, RJ Ramirez had 14. It really got dominated off the boards as they were a -11 on rebounds, leading to lesser points in the paint. There was a -12, and really could not cope up with Pampanga's pace as they were -21 in the fast break category.
And Mindoro will try to bounce back. They will take on a very confident Marikina squad who finally scored a breakthrough win in their last outing. Kalaban nila itong Quezon City Galleries Taipan. And in this game, they were pretty much in the driver's seat. Quezon City was constantly trying to come back, but they were able to hold on here, Coach Mike.
Yeah, Nem de la Cruz led the team with 12. Tiburcio and Mike Macion actually had 10 points apiece. Finally, after 9 tries, they got their first win over QC. Board control was done well by Marikina. They were +5 in that department kahit na better yung offensive rebounding nitong QC. They focused more on perimeter shots, making 10 more points in the paints, and Macion and Velasco as well as Joshua Roque combined for 23 of the 34 bench points, enough to get a 6-point advantage in the bench points stat line.
Alright, first game po natin, Mindoro kontra Marikina. Let's go to Richard Sampos for the starters.
Happy Labor Day! Welcome to the 2025 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7 here at the Olivares Coliseum, Paranaque City. Today's first match is Mindoro versus Marikina. Here are the starters. Let's begin with the Mindoro Tamaraws. Playing center number 27, Jonas Tibayan. Point guard number 23, June Manso. Also at guard number 16, RJ Ramirez. Small forward number 3, Ino Comboy. Power forward number 6, Riego Bam Bam Gamalinda. The head coach is Benji Tudoro, assisted by JC Libonao, with playing assistant coaches Axel Inigo, Ken Bono, and Joseph Sedoripa. The team manager Sandra Norte. The team owner is Paula Oriental Mindoro, Honorable Mayor Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz. Starting for Marikina Shoe Masters. Point guard number 77, Jetro Escoto. Also at guard number 31, Nem De La Cruz. Forward number 23, Pat Dibayuga. Also at forward number 6, Julius Tiburcio. Coming in at center number 1, Mike Machon. The Shoe Masters will be led by Angelo Nebres, assisted by Joseph Ochada, John Paul Basilan, Fernando Bunyag, and Rain Mendoza. The team managers AJC and Monroe Queso.
Alright, our starting five brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Mindoro kontra Marikina. For Mindoro, the backcourt of June Manzo, RJ Ramirez up front, Jonas Tibayan, Ino Comboy, and Bam Bam Gabalinda. For Marikina at the guard spots, Jetro Escoto and Nem De La Cruz. At center, Mike Machon. At the forward spots, Julius Tiburcio and Patrick Dimayuga. And June Manzo, this time starting for Mindoro. He's had an interesting season so far. We've seen the best of them. We've also seen the ones that has struggled at times. And here they will try to get a win against a Marikina squad na, alam mo, Coach Mike, minsan makaisa ka lang, laking kumpiyansa niyan para sa'yo eh.
Totoo yun. And I'm pretty sure Marikina right now, as you see Jetro Escoto doing what I've always wanted and hoped for him to do. Score from the outside, just like how he was paired before with Eric Pili when they were playing alongside each other here in Marikina. Pero going back to how the starters are set up, alam mo, they're not taking this game lightly. Both teams has pretty heavy starters here for both Marikina as well as Mindoro.
Binawi naman ni Ino Combo yung tres. First deadlock of the ball game, 3-all.
Well, one thing for sure, Ino Comboy is never gonna shy away from those, open threes. He loves getting those looks and he will always go for them.
Escoto. Marikina with only 5 on their shot clock. They turn the ball over. Comboy off to the races. Pushing it. June Manzo. Nilabas muna kay Bam Bam Gabalinda, who was sizzling in that game against Pampanga. Knocks down a 3.
Well, one thing you like to on this Mindoro Tamaraos here, communication is pretty much, very evident. Kita mo, defense-wise, even in the offensive side of the floor, those guys are talking on pick and rolls, pick and pops, ball swings. Clearly, talagang nag-uusap sa loob itong Mindoro Tamaraos.
Machon, a sweet spot, but can't convert. Mindoro completing the stop. Bam Bam Gabalinda. Supply this time. Running start here. Dimayuga. Susugurin yung depensa ni RJ Ramirez. And Jose foul.
And Dimayuga is one of those players from Marikina that I really like how he starts.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. Tatlong tries agad. Dalawa from Mindoro. Isa galing dito sa Marikina. Patrick Dimayuga at the line. Marikina lost their first 8 games before finally breaking through against Quezon City.
And it gives them so much reason to try and extend that win streak.
Ano, pilit kong inaalala saan ko na-cover dati si Patrick Dimayuga eh.
Yeah, I know.
Diba?
Na-mention mo na yan minsan sa akin din, but I really can't. But you like how he plays, Yung motor niya, yung lakas ng katawan, those dribble drives. He's going to be a challenge once he gets inside the paint.
1-point lead for Mindoro. Ino Comboy, cross court. Jude Manzo. That one rolls out. Ball ends up with the Shoe Masters. More than 2 minutes gone by in quarter number 1. Escoto fires off the mark. Di Mayuga tracks it down. Right corner triple. Does not work. Homeboy will bring the ball down for the Tamaraws. May pasa papunta kay June Manso. Bounce pass ay naagaw ni Mike Machon. M. De La Cruz. Susugurin yung depensa. Lays it up and in.
And De La Cruz showing a lot of sharp moves here to start the game.
RJ. Oh, that shot was blocked. And to make matters worse, Jonas Dibayan called for that offensive foul. Fast break the game brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
Yeah, Nem De La Cruz, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, you know, you give him that much space going downhill, he is definitely going to chase that space and try to make the most out of it.
7-6 Marikina. Di Mayuga sa bandang kanan. Mid-range jumper. Sablayan. Homeboy. Naipasa kay Jonas Tibayan. Balik kay Ino Homeboy. Thought about that three. Manzo does not like what he's seeing, so he settles the troops down with 12 on their shot clock. Gamalinda.
Yep.
And automatic yan. That's just cruise control for Bam Bam Gamalinda if he's on that spot.
And the number of times that he's played that spot against the zone, you know, it's just a catch and shoot turn. Para dito kay Bam Gamalinda, 15 feet in, you're gonna count that for Bam Gamalinda.
Mindoro Tamaraws ahead, but only by a point, 8-7 for Prosper Ring.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, para sa 100% Pinas. 50 tayo, 50 si MD, hati mo si Manny.
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Ang camera guys, hindi niyo po na itatanong at ito po ating mga utility people. Of course, si Vince, our statistician. Sila po kahit 4 p.m. ang game, some of them come in the morning, literally around 8 to 10 a.m. already here to prepare for our game days at hindi po nagiging madali yan dahil yung mga venues po natin magkaalayo. Just yesterday, we were in Pasay. But last week, kung saan-saan po tayo naarating, we were in Pangasinan, in Bataan. And on Tuesday, we were in Binyan. As we see here, it's Escoto knocking down his second triple.
And I like that, you know, yung focus that we're giving, especially dito sa mga tao behind the games, you know, foundationally, they're the ones who make sure that everything is a go before we proceed and declare games to be ready. So you see that drive by RJ Ramirez, you know, a little bit of mobility this time around after the timeout for Mindoro Tamaraws. I felt their last 2 to 3 sets were a little bit stagnant.
And you like how this guy has been really looking at shot. Si Jetro Escoto.
Well, he shot 1 out of 2 in their last game. And that's 50% from 3.
Let's check in with Sid.
Matapos dumikit ng Mindoro sa two-time national champions Pampanga last game, sabi ni head coach Benji Teodoro, lumabas ang pure talent namin. Hindi man nila nakuha ang panalo, malaking tulong daw ang ganong klaseng laro sa kanila sa mas lalo pa nilang gumagandang chemistry and identity. For playing coach Axel Inigo, baka yun raw ang best game nila so far this season. Axel is actually suited up today after missing 3 games and focusing on his coaching duties. Sabi ni Coach Benji, kailangan niya ng another perspective mula kay Axel on the court, both as his assistant coach and his reliable playmaker. Now as they try to get a bounce-back win, paalala ni Coach Benji, mag-ingat tayo sa mga flat starts. Nagkaroon tayo niyan noong third quarter last game. Back to you guys.
Only the second game of Coach Benji Teodoro as the leading man para dito sa Mindoro Tamaraws. And I love that report by Sid because it gives you a perspective of how Mindoro views themselves as possibly a contender dito sa South Division.
Yeah, and despite, they came off a 2-game, 3-game win streak prior to the change in the coaching staff. You love the togetherness that's still kept by Mindoro, which we somehow saw at the early start of the game. Remember, ito hindi masyadong magkakasama pa before, and a lot of teams are very similar in their situations, trying to get a lot of chemistry, a lot of togetherness. And right now with this coaching change, the hope is things would start to be better. Not that they did not start out good, but better things ahead for the Tamarans.
Yung third quarter kasi laban sa Pampanga, naunahan sila doon eh. Actually, they were in the lead as we see Manzo with that signature flip shot, 14-12 Mindoro. In that game against Pampanga, lamang sila 51-46 at the half. Pampanga was able to mount a run, but Mindoro came roaring back in the fourth quarter.
It's tough for you to be able to keep toe-to-toe with the defending champions. Well, we do understand revamp na yun. Marami mga players that already left, but still those guys are the defending champs, and they're doing pretty good early in this season, and so accomplishment na rin yun para sa Mindoro to be able to keep that game real close.
Remember, they had a signature win against Binyan earlier in the season. Itong Mindoro. And they've shown that if they are on their A game, they could beat the best teams here sa ating liga.
Yeah.
But so far, this is a tightly contested game, 14-all. A lot of deadlocks in this one. RJ Ramirez able to get past the defense, flips it up and in.
And you can see the togetherness of Mindoro Tamaraos. Much as almost everyone can score in this roster. But right now, aside from scoring, they're trying to find open teammates to get them involved offensively.
Mike Machon. Sablay yung tira sa tres. Ball na lalabas, papunta kay Roque. Left it short. Running start for Ino Comboy. Bounce pass. A bit too far for RJ Ramirez to catch. Turnover against the Tamaraos.
And you love the recognition of RJ telling miscom between the both of them.
It's a great move of the game, born for greatness. And this guy, Coach Mike, reminds me a lot of a certain Ilonggo who was a 2-time MVP in the PBA.
James, yeah.
Diba?
Oo. Iba eh.
I mean, how he takes the shot, how he drives.
I just love how he did that low dribble rip, going into that feetwork action on that side of the floor. Oh, another one right here. This one's off.
Oh, parang James Yap talaga eh. I mean, yung style of play. Of course, James Yap has certainly set a standard for himself. Axel Inigo, the playing assistant coach, drills in a three-pointer.
Yan yung isa pang perspective na bine-mention ni Coach Benji kanina na he'd love to get from Axel. I mean, just his leadership and vision inside the court. Another one right here incoming. Naman too loud.
I feel like this guy needs to get himself going. Ito si Joseph Sedorifa.
Yeah.
But first, let's check out this play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. The pedigree that he has, Coach Mike, I'm sure that by his standards also, alam niyang mayroon pa siyang next level para dito sa Mindoro.
And very important na magkaroon ng ganung approach sa game because, every game is an opportunity, every practice for that matter is an opportunity for you to be better, in every facet of the game. And so if you have that, the hope is if you're the lead, good backdoor, that it rubs off on your teammates.
Ken Bono also in as Mindoro gets a stop. And now at 2 minutes remaining here in the opening frame. That three-pointer short from Axel Inigo. 19-14, the Tamaraos with a 5-point lead. Casajeros puts it up, knocks it down.
I like the confidence of both these teams from taking shots on the outside. Mindoro's 3 out of 7 from there. And Marikina's doing their own thing, going 3 out of 9. Pretty solid percentage from 3.
Sasalaksak si Hans Maikong. Ito, favorite gym niya ito Olivares College sila yun ito.
Oo nga naman, ano? Parang parang home court din
Oo.
ang dating nitong laro na to para kay Maikong pala. He's one of those guys to watch out.
Now he's tossed to the guard. Ito si Jethro Escoto. The hard show by Brandre Bienes. Mashon able to recover. And that one-hander pretty much automatic.
A perimeter inside, 15 feet in. You can always count on Mike Machon. And he's one of the hard-working big men we have in the MPBL, regardless of what team he plays on.
Bono does not get that shot up and in. Pasajeros too strong on that layup. Inigo gets fouled, a blocking foul against Marikina.
Oh, nainis si Axel sa sarili niya because he heard that whistle. Should have gone for that shot.
Jomel Landayan, Marlon Basco coming in. 32.6 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Sedurifa will trigger it in from the sideline. Bienes. A lot of FEU guys, no? Paano sa Mindoro, Bienes, Axel Inigo. As we see Bono take that free, no good. Battle for the rebound, tapikan. Maikong gets it. But he stepped on the baseline, unfortunately, for the Mindoro Tamaraws.
Yeah. He wasn't supposed to be there. He's one of the smallest guy on the floor, but you know, that compete part of him really allows him to stay in there and get those deflections and the possibility for a rebound.
5 turnover laban sa 3 ng Marikina. The block by the Tamaraws, 2.1 seconds remaining. Marikina a chance to end the quarter with the lead, or they could tie it here with a 2-point field goal. Landayan as our game officials sorting it out. Baseline inbound tayo. Oh, good entry pass, but Peñano could not finish. He was asking for a foul, but no whistle was blown. First quarter comes to an end. And pretty much a back and forth between these two squads. Kita natin Bam Bam Gamalinda again finding the mark, Coach Mike.
Yeah, and definitely really good shooting as well. The shot making was pretty excellent. 41% for Marikina and 53% for Mindoro. The threes have been really good as well. Not so much of separations in terms of every stat line other than points from turnovers, which happens to be an advantage to Mindoro, and the fast break point on the side of Marikina.
21-19, Mindoro ahead after the first quarter. Bam Bam Gamalinda establishing his new MPBL career high of 24 points, 18 of those coming in that second quarter laban sa Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
Napakalaking bagay niyan, perimeter shots as well. You can count those 4 out of 5 threes. That's not nagkataon lang. That is by design. If you are coaching Bam Gamalinda, you know he's got that range and you know he's got that IQ when to take it and when to give it up to our open teammate.
And an early start for him as well here, 7 points already.
Jordan Vicente.
Oo. Oh, ito. Nakatalikod pa. Ayaw magpa-reveal ng mukha nito.
Oo. Medyo mahihain yan si
JQ.
JQ.
Oo.
JQ in the house.
But wait, Coach, dahil during the quarter break, may tinawagan ng technical foul laban dito sa Marikina. That's why Inigo was taking that technical free throw.
Well, I think they were complaining about a foul, no? That last attempt by Peñano.
I think one of the assistant coach of Marikina was teed up. Second quarter, Mindoro starts this period with the unit of Hans Maicong, Brandre Bienes, Axel Inigo, Ken Bono, and Joseph Sedoripa. Field goal shooting natin ng first quarter, 53% for Mindoro, 36% naman para sa Marikina.
Yeah, and not bad, you know, for both those teams, especially para dito sa Mindoro.
Peñano is joined by Jomel Landayan, Marlon Vasco, R.R. Casajeros, and itong si Roque. Casajeros, turnaround jumper, no good. Fight for the rebound, it ends up with Roque. Casajeros, tumama sa side of the backboard. Vasco, nilabas ulit.
Oh, you gotta take it.
Casajeros for a fourth time. Wala pa din.
Well, I thought Joshua Roque already had the shot in there. But it's the unselfish nature of Joshua that made him look for an open teammate. But at some point, you gotta be selfish. Lalo na understanding your percentage, your scope, your range, and the confidence in making a shot from there.
Great fishing expedition there by Brandre Bienes. Drawing that foul against Carl Peñano.
This so far has been a well-played game between these two.
This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
And the reason why we say it's well-played is because, you know, very little one-on-one action. You know, a lot of ball movement and man movement. And finding open teammates. Even Marikina nga, to a fault na, pwede na itira, naghahanap pa ng open na kakampi.
Of course, Mayor Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz in the building. Very supportive of her Mindoro Tamaraws.
Oh, yeah. And then pretty much you see her presence in every game of Mindoro. And if that's not a basketball fanatic for you, I don't know what is. I mean, yung suporta, napakasarap niya kung ikaw ang player ng Mindoro.
Sedorifa.
Post up here.
Ken Bono. Long-scored pass to Hans Maicong. Can't get it to go from downtown.
Yeah, he can make it from there. That's why he was given that pass by Ken Bono.
Mong Basco. Nilabas ulit. Papunta kay Nem de la Cruz. Landayan tried to bounce it inside after he got the offensive rebound. Turnover. That's Marikina. Foul will be given up here by Nem de la Cruz.
Yeah, Nem de la Cruz trying to beat Maicong on that spot of the floor.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Play more game with 1xBet.
Si Peñano, isa na yan sa mga big man na talagang inaasahan nitong Marikina. He provides a lot of heft inside, and he's not afraid to get into contact situations, even if, you know, very physical na yung game. He's always in there trying to match up.
I mentioned the word physical. Ito si Casajeros at si Hans Maicong. Getting entangled here. Maicong offering that screen. This is Axel Inigo.
He's got that switch. He got that switch.
Someone who has a size advantage. It's Bienes over Casajeros. But able to reload and lays it up and in.
Yeah, and assessing mismatches right there. Cross match on that switch. Axel knew it. Tried to find the guy, and they just went in there and scored.
28-21. Meron na namang bumagsak sa sahig. This time it was Nem de la Cruz. He was bumped out of position by Ken Bono. Carlo Velasco will come in for R.R. Casajeros.
One of the big guys who came off the bench in their last match, itong Marikina.
That's Maicong. Swoops in for the defensive board. He's now guarded by Carlo Velasco. Sedorifa. Number 10, Nem de la Cruz. Pulls up.
Ganda.
Thing of beauty there. Joseph Sedorifa.
What you like is he really sized up on what his options on or the layers in that set was. Tried to see the roll, wasn't there. Tried to look at the back door, didn't have it, and so he was the least guarded guy, and he took it.
Masyadong masigip para sa Marikina. Sedorifa, this time from beyond the arc. Off the heel though. Lantayan. Bounce pass, De La Cruz. That was a great feed. De La Cruz will go to the line.
And when Nem De La Cruz focuses on wanting to score, it's a bit tough to try and stop him, lalo na downhill. Yung mga off-ball action ni Nem De La Cruz, ang hirap let alone on a catch and grip and a drive. Is always, I feel momentum always is on his side. And so you have to be very quick to try and get to a space before he does. Because pag ganon, he's always gonna have advantage.
At 12 points, 10 of those coming in the first half in their win against the Quezon City Galleries Taipan. Also had 7 rebounds and 3 assists. Perfect on that trip.
Yeah. And I just want to say also yung mga hardworking peeps natin dyan sa OB Van for making us look good with all these graphics.
Oo naman.
Was GP, Direct Freddy, and all the directors that we have, Direct Bernard. Oh, bam, again, 3. Yeah.
Gusto mo na yan.
You know that was coming. Sobrang lawak nung space di ba?
Now they establish their first double-digit lead of the ball game, 33-23.
Oh,
Still here, Sedorifa is all alone.
Now if you're Marikina, you gotta wake up here. This is not a good run for being done against your team.
Crossover here by Nobleza. That was a well-challenged shot by Nem De La Cruz.
my
Tatakbo na naman
God.
dito ang Mindoro. And here is RJ Ramirez in transition. And Marikina forced to burn their timeout.
Well, you saw that fast break finish, but I want you guys to look at Axel Inigo. No dribbles, came up with that finish.
Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere. And Mindoro now has established their biggest lead at 14 points.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Kanipaya. Para sa 100% Pinay,
50 tayo! 50 si Emmy! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Of course, our cameraman, si Tikboy.
Oh naman.
Masipag din naman yan.
Stick boy pa.
Oh, diba? Of course, our referees. And by the way, just wanna give my well wishes, siyempre. Ito si Kuya Ton, laging may camera pa time to.
Oo nga. Bakit nga ba?
Oo. Naalala ko, nasa Ilagan ba kayo?
Ton is one of the hardest working FDs here in MPBL.
Oo, tagapagtanggol ni Boss Setelf to
Oo naman.
Oo, diba? Ito si Mason, susugod sa loob. Di ba muntik ng tamaan si Boss Setelf ng bola?
Oo. Kaya naman, nakita mo naman yung effort ni Boss Edel. Talagang hardworking din si Boss Edel doon. Talagang the stretch. Di ba? Di ba, Ton?
Baga, pinapakitahan tayo ng mga young-like reflexes.
Oo. yung flexibility tsaka dexterity. Kaliwa yun, extend
Ito si Chadi Rangel. Nasa loob na para dito sa Mindoro. And again, just wanna send my well wishes to one of our referees who covered one of the games yesterday. Si Bomot Tungol unfortunately suffered a torn Achilles injury. One of our referees, and he's scheduled to have surgery I think this week. And if you're watching, si Cornel Tungol, may sa inyo, we want to see you get back as soon as possible, and well wishes para sa'yo, pare.
Oh, and just nagbibigay lang ng kakaibang perspective yan para sa mga officials natin. I mean, to run up and down the floor, you have to be conditioned just like our players are. And, there will come situations na possible ganun eh. You two get injured. So, the hope is, boss, pagaling ka mabuti. Real quick, get healed.
Zedorifa. That one does not work. Lead remains at 14 points. Marikina trailing here. Nobleza, catch and shoot.
Good shot.
That was all net.
And you could always see a good shot from far away. I mean, pass on the wing, a catch and shoot. Defense was 2 to 3 steps behind you. You got to take that.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. And Marikina, gustong magkaroon ng back-to-back wins dito. But it's been a tough one so far. They're down by 11, 37-26.
Para sa atletang Pilipino.
Para sa kabataang Pilipino.
Para sa kababaihan, para sa pamilyang Pilipino.
Para sa kinabukasan.
At ito po ang MPBL Party List number 77 sa balota.
Next 3 games ng Mindoro on the 7th, they will take on the Davao Occidental Tigers. On the 16th, against the Cebu Classic. And on the 22nd, they will take on the Manila Batang Quiapo. And particularly, yung laban nila against Davao and Cebu, very crucial kasi sila yung mga kadikit nila, no? At the bottom half of the South Division. Of course, isa sa mga pinaka-talented na courtside reporters that we have. Also, Sydney Crespo. I love her posts. I don't know if you saw that in Facebook, Instagram. It's not about us. It's about the players, but also you see the people behind the scenes. And as you see here, Chadi Rangel get blocked. And yun yung gusto natin highlight, no? And today, Labor Day, we have all of the guys here na patuloy na nagseserbisyo, no? One way or another. And alam mo, hindi magiging madali yung magiging trips nila. After this one, they will be in Pangasinan, and then on Saturday, they will be in Ilagan. Meanwhile, nagpapaulan dito si Nem de la Cruz sa Paranaque, knocking down a 3.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ken, yung the Labor Day for celebration today, na in mind rin yan dito sa mga players nito. You see how hard they play today.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a lot of intentional plays that they're doing just so we could entertain yung mga manggagawa natin dito sa ating bayan.
Imagine here in the MPBL, we have roughly 500 players. We have 30 teams. There are rosters na umaabot 20 players. And all of them play their hearts out to showcase their talents. And also, our shout out are the coaches, to the team owners. Alam naman natin, they just like to compete hard and represent their team really well. You see the free throw stories, parehong 100% ang Mindoro at Marikina. Bamam Gamalinda will try to add on to that, as we would like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Bamam Gamalinda. Ooh, it's the first miss by either squad. See his numbers, 10.6 points, 5.3 rebounds. But particularly for Bam Bam Gamalinda, in his last 3 games, has really picked it up. Averaging 16.7 points per contest.
Tsaka napakahalaga for Bam Gamalinda to set the tone for Mindoro and so that the others would take the lead. I mean, they're doing it by committee, actually.
Actually, by mistake, 18 points per contest pala si Bam Bam Gamalinda in his last 3 games. So he's really picked it up. And, you know, they were 2-1 during that stretch. And now they have a 3-5 record. Rough go. Umwersa, wala. Gamalinda gets the rebound. Mindoro. Now June Manzo. We will direct traffic here. Gamalinda thought about that 3. He gets it back from Sedorifa. Joseph. Popose ngayon si Bam Bam. Laban kay Rafgo. Oh, great extra pass. Jonas Tibayan able to sneak in that layup.
I remember that win by Mindoro against Zamboanga. Jonas Tibayan really was just sensational in that game.
3-6 Mindoro Tamaraos. The game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Jonas Tibayan. One of the undersized centers that we have, but really effective at that position para dito sa Mindoro as they protect this 11-point lead. Tiburcio. Malayo yung pasa niya. Intended sana para kay Jethro Escoto. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Gamalinda. Binigay kay June Manzo.
Oh, wow.
Three-pointer is good.
And nagugustuhan mo doon yung kumpiyansa ng pagtire. He's not second-guessing himself. And kanina, you alluded to the want to see back rejuvenated June Manso.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing that right now.
Gusto noblesa, parang ringless yung mga tira niya. 1 from 3 and that one from mid-range. 43-31. A minute and 30 left here in the second quarter. Gamalinda. Now it's June Manzo putting the ball on the floor. Gamalinda. Again,
nice pass.
he finds Jonas Tibayan, but great recovery as well by Marikina as they were able to alter that shot. Foul against Jonas. Mindoro. Ano yung penalty?
At saka pag binigyan mo ng momentum tong si Nem de la Cruz, you know, he gets to that space before you, pretty much it's a done deal. Either he makes that basket or you foul him.
Silas Sabale. Nasa loob na para dito sa Marikina. Catches that pass from Jethro Escoto. Rough go. The former net Randite. Ringless din yung kanyang tres. And they've cut this lead down to 9.
And that's what they want to take out of Rafael Go, to try and convert him to a shooting wing guy who, for the most part of his playing career, been playing a big man. And he's just answering that call.
43-34 for Mindoro. Will return after this short break. Head of Security, Rudy Distrito, and of course, si Aldrin. And of course, our head statistician, Jao Mangonon. Ito si Kuya Pandoy. Malayo ang tingin, malayo ang tingin. A minute remaining here in the second quarter.
And si Boss Jao is the one who feeds us with all the stat needs. In-game, season-wide, you know, ever since we started MPBL, and he's always very conscious of, you know, records getting broken, players reaching milestones. He's the one who gives us those updates.
Rafco, pabandang tira. Pasok yan. 30 seconds remaining here in the second period. Gabalinda sa bandang kanan. Binabantayan ni Rafco. Off the bounce. Comboy. Wraparound pass intended to Jonas Tibayan. But they turn the ball over. So Marikina has been able to make some ground here. A chance to trim the gap even further. Shot clock turned off. Both teams in penalty. Zabale. Down low they go to Nem de la Cruz. Peeks at the clock. One-on-one against Edo Rifa. Step back. Long two. Short. Tiburcio tried to recover. There was a foul. Did it come before the buzzer? They will review it because if it did, that's going to be 2 free throws for Marikina.
And we'll see if they're going to be awarded here as the officials go to the review to check.
Of course, Mayora, Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz. Let's see this. This was Tiburcio who got that offensive rebound. He tried to create some space. You see the baseline referee signal a foul. And it came after the buzzer. And that's gonna do it here in the first half. And Bam Bam Gamalinda once again having himself a tremendous first half. 11 points, 80% shooting from the field, and hit 2 threes. And the leading guy para dito sa Mindoro, the veteran, the former San Bena Red Lion. And our halftime score, 45-36, Mindoro with a 9-point lead over Marikina.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Para sa atlitang Pilipino.
Para sa kabataang Pilipino.
Para sa kababaihan, para sa pamilyang Pilipino.
Para sa kinabukasan.
At ito po ang MPBL Party List number 77 sa balota.
Welcome back to the MPBL. Happy Labor Day mga kaliga. Ako po si Sydney Crespo at kayo ay nanonood ng aming Game 1 between the Mindoro Tamaraws and the Marikina Shoemasters. At dito sa ating halftime, kasama ko ang hardworking team owner ng Mindoro Tamaraws, Mayor Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz. Mayor, nice to see you here again in our games. No, na-mention ko po kanina na para kay head coach Benji Teodoro, lumabas raw yung pure talent ng Tamaraws versus Pampanga last game. I'm sure you agree and you appreciate their efforts. Ano bang sinabi mo sa kanila?
Grabe, alam mo, sobrang thankful ako sa mga players natin. Talagang inilabas nila, back-to-back champion na yung ating kinalaban last time. Pero talagang pinakita nila yung galing at tapang nila talaga sa paglalaro. Thankful ako sa mga players, lalo na kay Coach Benji. Talagang yung hamon sa kanya, nandun. Talagang tinanggap niya yung challenge, no? Sabi niya, challenge accepted. So thankful ako kay Coach Benji.
At ngayon po, Mayor, lamang ang iyong koponan at the half. Ano ba ang gusto mong makita sa kanila at gaano ka-confident na pwede nilang makuha ang panalo ngayon?
O kaya nila yan. Basta lang, dire-diretso lang. Ano lang talaga, have faith, no, sa mga players natin. And nakita ko talagang go hard talaga sila. And thankful talaga tayo sa mga players. Pinakita talaga nila na kayang-kaya nila. And hopefully hanggang dulo, no, kayanin natin. Para sa Mindoreño yan, para sa Mindoreño.
Ayan, exactly po. Mayor, I'm sure may mga babatiin ka at baka gusto niyo pong bumati ngayong Labor Day.
Ayan, syempre sa ating mga sponsors, sa Tela, sa Bingo Plus, kay Kong Arnan Paniligan, and siyempre sa Ghost Team. Maraming salamat kay Ken. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga sponsors na sumusupport sa MPBL, siyempre sa Mindoro Tamaros. Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much.
Alright, thank you so much rin po, Mayor Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz. Mga kaliga, wag po kayong alis. Magbabalik ang MPBL.
Ang hirap ng buhay na pinagdaanan ko, ayaw kong madaanan ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Kaya I hope na ang ating bansa umunlad, magkaisa tayo, ipagdasal natin ang ating mga leader dahil walang imposible sa Panginoon pag tayo ay nagdarasal. Nung ako ay naupong senador, hindi ko po talaga kinompromise yung posisyon ko kasi yung commitment ko sa taong bayan, manatiling commitment ko sa kanila habang ako'y pinagkakatiwalaan at nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno.
Masakit lang isipin, Mr. President, na ang programa na para sa mga mahihirap, tapos may mga tao na kumokontra. Kasi pagka maganda yung ginagawa para sa mga mahihirap, dahil kalaban ka, kukontrahin ka. Nakakabuti naman sa taong bayan. Pagkakalaban ka, ganun. Kaya walang progreso, walang kaunlaran ang bansa natin dahil after ng administration ng isang leader, pag mapalitan siya, hindi ipagpatuloy yung programa niya na maganda para sa taong bayan. Pagkatapos naman ng isa, yung magandang programa niya, mahinto na naman, ibang programa na naman. Bakit hindi natin suportahan? Kahit na ba, ang isang politiko, ang puso para talaga sa taong bayan o tumulong, kung maganda yung programa, dapat suportahan na lang. Ang problema, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda. Lahat ba yung mga programa ng mga nakaraang leaders ay hindi maganda? Pagdating sa mga mahihirap, nasasaktan ako pagka binabati ko yung mga programa para sa kanila. Diyan ako galing sa pagiging mahirap. Yung walang makain sa isang araw. Naranasan ko yun. Kaya ako, anumang narating ko, anumang pera, anong halaga ang nakamtan ko sa buhay, hindi mahalaga para sa akin yan. Ang importante, makatulong ako sa taong bayan, makatulong ako sa kapwa ko. We came to this world naked, and we will depart alone and naked. Wala tayong madalala. Iiwanan natin lahat yan. Ipaglalaban ko ang karapatan ng mga mahirap na tao.
Atin itong bansa, gusto ko po na tayong lahat nagtutulungan para umunlad ang ating bansa, para umasinso ang bawat Pilipino. Mga kababayan ko, mga nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno, magkaisa tayo. Isipin natin na ang mga kababayan natin nagugutom, nahihirapan. Yung iba, walang sariling tahanan, natutulog sa kanila lamang. Tayo, lahat ay pari-parihong tao, may puso na nararamdaman. Naway, bawat isa sa atin, lahat tayo, accountable tayo pagharap natin sa Panginoon. Lagi kong sinasabi, kahit ano pa kayaman mo, kahit ikaw pa pinakasikat sa buong mundo, pag namatay tayo, wala tayong madadala kahit piso. Ang Manny Pacquiao, walang karapatan magyabang kahit kanino. Dahil galing po ako sa hirap. Therefore, ang aking gagawin, tutulungan yung mga kasama kong naiiwan doon sa laylayan. Tutulungan sila. Ang dasal ko palagi sa kanila na umasinso din sila sa buhay at makaahon din guminhawa sa buhay. Kaya tayong lahat, mga kababayan ko, sama-sama tayo, magkaisa tayo para sa tagunlad ng ating bansa. Tayong lahat magtutulungan.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Our halftime score, 36 for the Marikina Shoemasters and 45 for the Mindoro Tamaraws. They hold on to a 9-point lead at the half. And the 3 and 6 Mindoro Tamaraws trying to move up the team standings in the South Division as we see the numbers here, Coach Mike.
Yeah, and pretty good shooting para dito sa Mindoro at 53%. Decent naman on the side of Marikina, making 13 of 36. The turnovers have really been more about converting them into points, and Mindoro has done a good job of converting 12 points out of those 8 turnovers that they forced on Marikina. And Mindoro's been doing a lot of assists. I mean, guys like Axel Inigo, Comboy, and Agamalinda doing a good job of finding open teammates. The bench is pretty much the same between these two. As you know, it's very important that guys do not rely solely on the starters and that the bench support really comes up and does their thing too.
And we see the leading scorers here. Mindoro has Bam Bam Gamalinda leading the way with 11 points. 6 points naman para ay Brantre Bienes. RJ Ramirez also with 6. June Manso with 5 para sa Marikina. Nem de la Cruz with 9. Jetro Escoto knocked down 2 threes for a total of 6 points. Rafgo and Mark Tobleza each with 5. And it's good, Coach Mike, that you pointed out about the bench scoring, the points off turnovers. Wait lang May warning ba tayo or technical? May technical foul.
May technical ulit.
So it's Rafgo who will take the free throw.
And so for 2 straight quarters, we've had contentions at the end of each quarter, which led to technicals and free throws eventually. I think one from both teams,
Yeah.
One each.
And again, you mentioned yung advantage ngayon ng Mindoro in today's game in terms of points of turnovers, assists, and bench points, because all of those departments, they are in the bottom 5 coming into today's game. So napalaking bagay niyan moving forward. Also, not to mention they're dead last in terms of fast break points as we see another free hit there by Jetro Escoto. And just like that, Marikina has drawn to within 5.
Yeah, and we didn't even touch on the fast break stat line, to which Mindoro also has a 2-point advantage in that number. Pero, it's just a conscious effort to understand where you're weak at and to work on it and to make it your strength. And just kudos to Coach Benji and Assistant Coach Axel to, really laser focus on these things.
Steal here by Ino Comboy. The cut by Tibayan. Yung pasa medyo ispalinghado papunta kay Comboy. They recover, but Gamalinda drag his pivot foot before he put the ball on the floor.
Yeah. You jab going right, you put the ball with the right hand, there's a high probability you're gonna lift that left foot before that ball lands on the floor.
A minute gone by here in the third period. Rafgo misses on that outside jumper. June Manzo.
Oh, that same foot.
Yep, yes.
And he's always been parang naging second nature na ni June yung move na yan. A number of times he gets called for that travel.
Si Coach Melgador ba yung nakita ko sa likod? The one with the maroon shirt behind the Mindoro bench.
I'm not so sure.
Mamaya titignan natin Parang siya yun 47-40. Nem de la Cruz. No good. Rebound ends up with Mindoro. 5 on the floor for the Tamaraws. You have June Manzo who sinks in a 3 from the left corner.
And he needed that. After that travel violation.
June Manzo joined by Joseph Sedorifa who gets the steal. Easy pickings on the other side. We also have Jonas Tibayan, Bam Bam Kamalinda, and Ino Comboy.
It's a 5-point swing.
Kanina, Coach Mike, 3 puntos na lang to eh.
Oo.
Yeah. So this is a 9-0 run for Mindoro. Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme magpalamig. Free installation for split-type air conditioners.
Yeah, points off turnovers na naman yan. As said, Arif able to pick the pocket and go for that layup attempt the other way. Comboy straight on 3.
Bista mo na yan! 7 steals for Mindoro. And also, that's the 7th three-pointer for the Tamaraws.
And the many times that we've covered teams and players here, nakikita mo pag in rhythm, alam mo, there's a very good chance that shot's gonna go in just like this rhythm 3 for Ino. And you're not surprised because that's Ino Comboy too.
Oh yeah. Let me check myself. This is a 10-0 run. So the closest that Marikina has gone to was at 5 points. It was 45-40 earlier. Mindoro, no 10 straight points. Great response. And De La Cruz at the line. He's had 3 games with at least 20 points this season, including a season-high 24 nung game nila against Zamboanga Sikat. And he suited up for Valenzuela and Imus last year and averaged 15.9 points, exactly his averages this season when he was with Imus.
And napakahalaga ng magiging role nito ni Nem De La Cruz. I mean, primary initiator of the offense, lalo na if you wanna break down the initial defender to try and get a second guy on the ball and try and move men around. He's pretty much that guy for Marikina, Nem De La Cruz.
Jun Manzo on the left corner. Ray Bienes takes a handoff. Manzo for 3. Short.
But didn't have that good rhythm on that catch. Walang lift masyado dun sa tira na yun kay Jun Manzo. But, you know, Escoto, again, very active here.
Rough go, balik kay Gentro Escoto. Machon on the left elbow offers a pick for R.R. Caseros. Gamalinda, a bit too handsy. Held him up. And a foul will be called against Bam Bam.
Na-attempt na mag-reach in natawagan tuloy ng foul.
Caseros, quick catch and shoot. Off the mark. Gamalinda with another rebound. Give and go. Bam Bam, bounce pass to Ino Comboy. Right corner, 3. That one's pretty much automatic.
Mindoro Tamaraws right now, much as they already have 17 assists, is so unselfish that in that situation, 3 different guys actually touched that ball before leading up to that 3 by Ino Comboy. I mean, yung mga taong nag-give up ng bola, actually scorer na rin eh. Pero, you know, just that conscious effort to try and find open teammates.
And yun yung gusto nilang i-improve, no? Because they're in the bottom 5 in terms of assists. You know, the lack of playmaking has been really glaring, at least in their first few games so far this season.
And what you like is that these guys are actually having fun doing it. I mean, we saw earlier right in front of us, Bienes and Jun Manso, you know, giving high fives and smiling at each other after that stop the other end. And just shows you, you know, that level of happiness in having that sense of accomplishment, you know, defensively, while we see, you know, Comboy right here, teammates on him, trying to help him out.
Bit shaken up, Ino Comboy. Of course, Commissioner Kenneth Durempnes, Captain Marbel, all smiles.
Halala ko last night si Com Kenneth, lumapit pa si Alex Cabagnot. Nakipag-shake hands pa at sinusubukan kuhaan yung mga shooting touch ni Com Kenneth on that last play. What a game that was last night. Yeah.
Yesterday, Basilan, Pasay. Well, Pasay had that big third quarter, but Basilan came roaring back. But that comeback just fell short in the end. was a good drag screen offered by Go, giving ito si Escota a running start. But Casajeros can't find the range so far for the entirety of the season. But luckily for them, Carl Peñano there pivoting his way inside for the basket.
Yeah, a couple of shots earlier in the first half, he knocked down a three because he was, kumbaga, he's very calm when he took that shot. Itong pangalawa at pangatlong tira niya, halos he's rushing it. And so, yung motor niya naapektuhan.
Gamalinda. Sinubo na lang sa ring yun. Great pass from RJ Ramirez. Again, the assists have been piling up for Mindoro.
Assist number 18, that moment for RJ. And if you got a team that goes to 20 assists in a game, you know you've had a good game.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. And they're right at their average already. 18 assists exactly yung average itong Mindoro Tamaraws coming in. That's 26 in the league.
Yeah.
They're in the bottom 5 in that department.
And you also can't help but notice all these improvements that we're seeing in Mindoro. I mean, you just dished out your 18th assist in the game, roughly about the halfway point of the third quarter. And then defensively, nakita mo si Bam Gamalinda dumadive para sa mga 50-50 balls. And other guys are trying to go and pick up as well. And if you've got a team that shares the ball and exerts a lot of effort on the defensive side, then you know you've got something special.
Rafgo, pasok yung unang free throw. Former Letran Knight. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
And Rafael Go is, you know, still a project to me in terms of converting him to a wingman. I mean, he does have certain skill sets that he has to learn and unlearn from a big man perspective. So that's very important in the evolution of the game of Rafael Go.
Jude Manzo, catch and shoot. Sablay, nakuha ni Casajeros yung rebound. Roque, surveying the floor for the Marikina Shoemasters. Rafgo, susugod. Great up fake. Right. Able to elude Bam Bam Gamalinda and score.
Yung galawan na yun, that's a wing and a guard movement. You know, a 2-foot jump stop right off in the shaded area, giving an up fake before taking the shot. And as you watch that defender fly by.
60-48. Behind the back dribble by RJ Ramirez. Gamalinda off the bounce. Stolen away. Casajeros able to recover. Landayan is ahead and scores. And Marikina has trimmed the gap to 10.
And that's just the fourth point of turnover for Marikina. And you know, every chance you have to make Mindoro pay for the mistakes that you force on them.
Sadorifa, draws a foul. Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Ganda ng up fake tsaka nung 2-foot jump stop talaga ni Rafael Go.
Sadorifa, pasok yung kanyang unang free throw. Played for Abra last season. But really, he made his mark. As we see the free throw shooting, perfect so far ang Marikina. Mindoro, 87.5%. Ito si Joseph Sadorifa really made his mark when he played for Makati back in Season 3 under Coach Cholo Villanueva, where they made their run in the North Division. And really, pinahirapan nila yung San Juan in the North Division Finals. Just lost in game number 3 and fell short of the National Finals.
And there were very high hopes and expectations actually with Siderifa joining Abra last season. Of course, you know, that was the very first season of the Abra Weavers. And when you look at their lineup, boy, that team was stacked from last season.
Ramirez, hindi niya ipipilit. Siderifa, ooh, no foul.
Ooh.
He could not believe it as he fell down. Casajeros challenged that shot, but Bienes was there to get it back. At siya yung nakabingwit ng foul.
So instead, it's Vienes on the line.
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer.
And what you also notice about this current rotation of players for the Tamaraws, Ken Bono is not so heavy when it comes to efforts, on the floor, because ang dami ng activity binibigay sa kanya ng mga teammates niya na nakakatulong sa kanya sa position niya.
Straight away free by Rafco does not work. Exactly 3 minutes remaining here in the third period. Mindoro up by a baker's dozen.
And the mere fact that Marikina is just down 13, very manageable deficit heading into the fourth quarter. You just got to close out a little bit stronger in the third to try and bring this down to a single-digit deficit, which is pretty much something that they can achieve.
That's by Kong, fresh off a championship for the Olivares College Sea Lions. Pinasa kay RJ Ramirez.
Watch for a slip by Ken.
Axel Inigo puts it on the floor, floats it up and in. Plus a foul.
Sobrang veterano naman yung mga movement na yon. Axel knew that was going to be a slip by Ken Bono after this action. He looked at that slip, didn't find it, and so he opted to go in with that one dribble floater, and he got fouled on that way to the paint.
Also had a stint for the Adamson Soaring Falcons, Axel Inigo, before returning for the FEU Tamaraws.
And there are certain point guard that can actually cross over from playing on the floor to coaching.
Yeah.
And Axel is, I feel, one of them. Good vision, good head on his shoulders, and a really good grasp for the game.
Landayan. That shot will not work. Inigo having trouble.
Nice pass.
Ganda nung agaw, ganda rin nung pasa ni Casajeros papunta kay Rafgo.
3-on-1 yung kung tutusin versus Ken Bono, and just a bundle for Ken to cover each one.
Gustong pumoste ni Maikong but was weighed off there by Ray Bienes. Ken Bono, open free.
Yeah.
Ista mo na yan.
You form up a stack on that side of the floor, and Ken can easily just step back.
Easy steal by RJ Ramirez. Huge strides. And he was clobbered on his way to the basket as he falls down on the floor.
And RJ Ramirez has been doing an excellent job on the field. He's 2 out of 2 from the field, perfect from the line. Got a couple of assists, 1 steal in almost 15 minutes of action.
Caught ito si R.R. Casajeros. Back of his head. Nakatalikod.
Sinubukan Puminoy step Tinamaan lang sa ulo.
First free throw is good for RJ. 16-point lead again for the Mindoro Tamaraws. Shooting really well, actually, both of these teams. 12 out of 14. 85.7% para dito sa Mindoro. Marikina, perfect 9 of 9. But they're down by 17. Landayan. Great backdoor cut by Tiburcio, but broken up by Hans Maikong.
Ganda ng read ni Hans doon.
Bono. Thought about that free. Maikong, that's his spot. And it's good.
And that's just Ken being unselfish again.
Yeah.
Libre na yun, pwede na itira pero alam niya makaka-generate ng closeout. Almost fumbled it, but a good recovery for Mindoro.
Kasi yung mga Ken, mapagbigay yan Ayan,
ganon?
Oo.
Oo naman. May isa pa akong kilalang Ken
Dami tayong Ken.
Oo naman.
Ito, si Ray Bienes. Nasupalpal ni Julius Tiburcio. Escoto, great save.
Good effort, right.
That's a foul. Yes.
Yeah, good effort by Escoto right there. And pretty much what you expect from him. Be that spark para dito sa Marikina.
Penalty na ang Mindoro dito. 47.5 seconds remaining. Carl Peñano will troop to the line. Former CU Scorpion. Carl Peñano also played for NU Nazareth School when he was in high school. Sablay yung kanyang unang free throw. First miss by Marikina. They're 90% as opposed to the 85.7% free throw shooting clip naman itong Mindoro. Actually, dalaway sinablay ni Carl Peñano doon. 35 seconds to go. Foul against Landayan. Both teams in penalty.
And Landayan was trying to stick as close as he can to Axel, refusing to get screened by that middle action with, I think that was Bienes. But you really just got to stay in front. You don't have to reach. You've done a good job already.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Pasok yung unang free throw ni Axel Inigo. Later on, his brother Achi and the Manila Batang Quiapo will play against the Muntinlupa Cagers in our second game. And yung third game po natin, Cebu Classic laban sa Paranaque Patriots. Axel Inigo so far, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Escoto. Yung pasa sa ilalim, Carl Peñano. Fouled again.
Sayang, point blank. Had that hop on that left-hand finish.
Peñano was 0 of 2 at the line on his last trip here. Ay pasok na niya this time.
Oh,
nandito pala to. Uy, Mika, hindi ka nagpaparamdam
Manggagawang Pilipino.
Nasaan yun? Ayun. Of course, with her lovely daughter watching.
Hindi naman Mother's Day, no? Hindi naman.
Malapit na yun.
Malapit na.
Kailan ba Mother's Day? Basta ngayong buwan din yun, Coach.
May.
Yes, it's in May.
June is Father's Day, di ba?
Kasi naalala ko yan, lagi yan halos kasabay ng birthday ng mom ko eh.
When's your mom's birthday ba?
May 12,
yeah. Roughly parang second week of the month eh. Parang ganun.
Oo, parang ganun. Hans Maikong, pasok yung kanyang unang free throw. Second one. All net.
Closing out quarters here, very important.
14 seconds remaining. Escoto looks a pass to Nem de la Cruz. Peñano. Laban kay Ken Bono. Pivots his way around. Travel.
And that was all Ken Bono defense right there. Not allowing him to extend that step.
Chance here for Mindoro.
They got a lot of time. 2.7.
Inigo. Baseball pass. Oh, this is a good opportunity for Bienes. But can't knock down that shot from downtown. Third quarter comes to an end. And the Mindoro Tamaraws have begun to pull away here. Highlights of the game brought to you by Sit Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
And that last sequence, really a good look for Mindoro. But so far as field goal making, 55% from the field, 39% from 3, 88% from the free throw line. You got 21 assists on top of the 21 points of turnovers that you forced. That's a plus 15 all in favor of Mindoro. You're not surprised that they're in the lead.
And we head into the fourth quarter. Mindoro with the lead over Marikina, 77-56. Check out our Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. Kita mo naman, parang sanay na sanay sila sa camera, di ba? Oh.
Meron talagang hindi mahihain sa camera.
Oo. Of course, nandito po tayo sa Olivares College Gymnasium in Paranaque City. Third time we've been here this season. As Paranaque will defend their home court and still in search for their very first victory laban sa Cebu Classic. That will be later on. Ken Bono, binasic lang as we see the quarter score in 21-19, 24-17, and 32-20, all in favor of the Mindoro Tamaraws.
And the scoring just keeps getting better as every quarter goes. And if you're gonna allow, as we see Mike Machon make that shot, if you're gonna allow Ken Bono that comfortable spot on the right mid post without any help going middle, then it's gonna be tough to stop those paint points coming. They're gonna go to that again.
Bono.
So,
Cross-court pass.
Yeah, so ngayon medyo bumaba na ng konti si Nem de la Cruz.
Ramirez. Kissing it off the glass and in. Rafgo. Basically the same shot on the other side. 81-60 Mindoro. A minute gone by. Hands by Kong. Ray Bienes, Axel Inigo, RJ Ramirez, and Ken Bono. By Kong. Puts one up, no good. Tatakbong Marikina. Landayan gets fouled by Axel Inigo.
And you like that they're starting to push the pace now. After all, you're down 21. And so there's so much to recover if you're Marikina. And it all starts with offensive execution.
And Bono, Maikong will get a breather. In comes Jonas Tibayan and Ino Comboy. Step back, Nem de la Cruz. Rafgo recovers. Great pass, libre si Landayan. Short though on the three. Comboy will give it up to Axel Inigo. Muntikan nang mawala.
Buti na lang na-recover.
And was able to cross the half-court line just in time. RJ whips a pass to Bienes. Comboy takes that free.
Oh, yeah.
Bienes, count it, plus a foul.
That definitely is bound to happen. On that shot by Ino Comboy, there was actually a switch, and Bienes got Landayan on him, and so Landayan didn't chase for the ball, and Bienes is always going to be crashing those boards for opportunities, offensive rebounding. No surprises there. 2 for 1 here for Bienes.
Could not complete it though. So it's 83-60 for the Mindoro Tamaraws.
Good
Lob
spin.
inside. That was Mike Machon able to rim run his way to the basket.
Nakita mo talaga sanay na sanay sa poste si Mike Machon. He got fronted, and so he just spun the other way. Oh, RJ right through the gut.
Using his left hand. Lead back up to 23 points.
And there's an advantage if you like RJ Ramirez being able to play for Batangas, just system-based players loving system-based teams. And he's taking that here to Mindoro.
Ganda ng pasa. Bienes, sinubo na lang.
Unanswered points, just gotta be better defensively. And much as you'd love to see a Marikina come back with the rate that they're playing right now, a lot of downhill action all in favor for the Tamaraws.
They extend the lead to 25. Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Saka hindi ka pwedeng maging okay ka na sa palitan lang ng puntos Kailangan sumagot ka, pigilan mo silang umiscore para magkakaroon ka ng pagkakataong makabalik. Bienes continues. And when is these attempts ever going to be stopped by Marikina? That's the big question.
13 points for Brandre Bienes. And they push the lead up to 27, 89-62. Fan of the Game is brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Let's check in with Miss Sydney Crespo.
With over 2 decades of basketball experience, Bam Bam Gamalinda is focused on extending the longevity of his career. Pinag-uusapan natin yung sakripisyo kanina, and at 38 years old, marami pa rin sinasakripisyo si Bam Bam to have quality contributions even against the national champions. From extra shooting that inspires other teammates to his 18-hour fasting, Bam Bam says we cannot afford to stay stagnant, and he mentions that it showed in their last game na kaya pala nilang hindi mag-give up agad and that they can stick with their character. Maybe there are still some little things that they need to improve, pero nandyan na raw yung good signs na pataas ang Mindoro. Tama na, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Sid. And Bam Bam Gamalinda finding probably the fountain of youth while playing for Mindoro. And he endured an injury. I think it was a year or 2 years ago. That was a lengthy absence for him, as we see ito si Jay Yutok score para dito sa Mindoro. And it took some time for him to come back, and he's playing at a really high level right now para dito sa Mindoro. And Sid already mentioned, Coach Mike, no? Almost more than 2 decades of experience. You remember those 3 championships he had from 2006 to 2008 with San Beda, with guys like Yusuf Aljamal,
Right, Pong
Escobar, Sam Ekwe. Ooh, that's a hard fall. That's rough go. And Jay Yutok.
Oh, it's a tough fall right there for Rafael Go.
Here it is. This was the up fake. Nablot.
Yeah. Well, kinapitan lang niya because he has to cushion his fall. Wala siyang kakapitan. And I don't think that was intentional. He just needed someone to hold on to, so that hindi ganun kaano yung bagsak niya. And if you know Rafael Go, he's not that, physical a player di ba?
Siya na nga mismo umangat kay Jay Yutok. But still, it's an unsportsmanlike foul.
Right.
Because it falls under the criteria for that. Probably for excessive hard contact. Hindi ko narinig yun. Pwede.
Yeah. And it could be because of, that was above the shoulder, that was on the head. And you know how we call that here. And I think that's above the head, above the shoulder. And going back to that report on Bam Gamalinda, I feel more than the strategy of, being well-conditioned, yung fasting niya of 18 hours, I feel above that, it's really the discipline that separates him from, having achieved that. Ang dami namang gumagawa niya, pero yung disiplina, iba rin talaga di ba? So it's not the strategy, it's the discipline to stay the course as you do that.
We have a challenge from the Mindoro Tamaraws. They are pretty much comfortable in the driver's seat. 29 points, the lead. 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here. We'll pause for a break. We'll be back for the result.
The challenge made by Mindoro Tamaras is successful.
Tagumpay si Coach Benji Tudoro sa kanyang pag-challenge dun sa uling tawag ng ating game officials. See here, that last out-of-bounds play, it went off a Marikina player. By the way, our referees for this ball game, Alan Manzano, JP Abobo, and Ariel Arce, and our alternate referee is Edu Agua. Axel Inigo. The floater does not work, but he was fouled. So Inigo back at the line. Now a playing assistant coach para dito sa Mindoro Tamaraws. All-around numbers so far. Also in double figures. So 6 guys scoring double digits, no? Para dito sa Mindoro Tamaraws. This is the team, Coach Mike, that came in to this game. They were in the bottom 10 in terms of points per game, only 73.2 points. But a far cry from that here in today's matchup against Marikina.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually going to allude to that as well. And you talked about the assists and the other stats that they were bottom, including points per game. And so they're on the brink of getting to 100 points. And that just shows you they really are consciously trying to improve themselves, even on the number side. And they're doing that, I feel, based on my observation, together. Players standing up, very active, and even on the floors, they try and defend, get stops. They were good already in the early on the season, but they're even better now with this new moves here in Mindoro.
And this is Nem de la Cruz at the line. And Coach, yung last 3 games sila, no? They've really shown that improvement. They were 2-1 in that, including that tough loss against Pampanga. But they were able to put up 90 points against Pampanga's 94. They were only separated by 4 points, the final score. And in their last 3 games, before this one, they were averaging close to 80 points at 79.7. As we see a foul given up here by Mindoro.
That's on Yuto.
And I've always, ito si Boss Sedelf nandito
Bosedelf
din pala.
and Riley. That's Bosedelf's Riley. I have my Riley na kanina nagkaroon kami ng biglang tune-up game sa umaga. And that's that. Kaya minsan pag nag-uusap kami, nami-mention yung Riley na papatingin ako. Baka mamaya yung Riley ko yung nami-mention eh.
And yun nga, Coach, no, going back lang to Mindoro. Because we were talking about how they were in the bottom 5 in the critical departments like bench points, assists, points off turnovers. And for a team that has guys like ito si Axel Inigon, June Manzo, Wendell Comboy, they're not really a tall team. Sometimes you see Bam Bam Gamalinda play the 4 or the 5 spot. But slowly but surely, nakikita mo mas bumibilis na yung pace nila. They're going up and down the floor. And you could just sense that that's the brand of basketball that they would like to have moving forward in their campaign.
And yung lahat ng tatlong stats na minention mo also, very indicative of the improvements of Mindoro. You talk about assists being improvement. It means that's togetherness, being unselfish. You talk about points of turnovers. It means defending well. And you talk about bench points. It means, a lot of guys are getting involved. And so all those 3 put together really just sums up what this new Mindoro team that we're seeing right now.
Saan nagtitrend up talaga yung scoring nila eh. That game against Paranaque, they had 68 points. And then, kung laban nila against Zamboanga, they had 81. And even in that loss nga against Pampanga, 90. And now they're on pace to eclipse the century mark. And those are really good signs that bodes well for them moving forward. And while for Marikina naman, it's tough because they're just coming off that very gritty win against Quezon City to notch their very first victory of the season. Pero dito, nakakalaban nila yung Mindoro that was really pretty determined to put their stamp in this ball game. And for Marikina, it's back to the drawing board. But they have some pieces here that they can work on moving forward din naman para sa kanila.
Yeah, actually, first quarter, itong Marikina, napakaganda ng pinakita nila. They were only down 2 points. And then, come the second quarter, they got outscored by 7. It was an opportunity to try and recover in the third, but everything just crumbled. And guys on Mindoro tightened up that defense, tightened up that screw. and made it difficult for Marikina to even score. And dun dumami rin yung assist nitong Mindoro in that quarter. And so if you're going up against that team, chances are mahihirapan ka, lalo na if you don't, match up to the effort that's they're showing in the game.
But you like how, apart from Nem de la Cruz, who again leading his team in scoring with 14 points, si Rafgo meron din 14, and our Casajeros with 6 rebounds, 4 assists. We have a challenge again, and let's see here as Marikina still trails by 31 points. We'll pause for a break. We'll be back for the result.
The challenge made by Mindoro Tamaraos is unsuccessful.
Bigo this time, si Coach Benty Chodoro. So this was the rebounding battle. Tiburcio was in the... So that's going to be 2 free throws for Tiburcio. Rashawn McCarthy and Chris De Chavez. And we have Muntinlupa waiting in the wings. They will take on the Manila Batang Quiapo in our game later on. And that should be a fast-paced game between these two teams that like to play offense.
Would be interesting to see guard-on-guard matchups then. You've got Kantimbuhan, you have John Fa on the others team. And yeah, it's a good game.
Foul on the floor as Velasco got the steal. 2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining. And unless Marikina comes up with some magic here, looks like Mindoro is on cruise to notch their 4th win against 6 losses.
And a couple of homegrowns right now on the floor para dito sa Mindoro, Rocio as well as Perez.
Carlo Velasco played for PSBA and had a stint for Imos before he was playing naman for Valenzuela for I think 4 seasons. Seasons 2, 3, 5, and 6. So tagal-tagal siya naglaro for Valenzuela, now called Val City Magic. Jay Utok puts up a shot. Actually, itong Mindoro, matagal din nakapako sa 98 points. They have yet to reach the 100 mark this season. Jetro Escoto with his 4th 3-pointer.
Bad pass.
Steal. Sabale. Atake. Eye off the glass. Wala. Carlo Velasco spins into trouble. Ball will stay with Marikina. And Marikina last season, but first we see here this play by Jetro Escoto, burying that 3-pointer.
But he's gotta do that at points in the game when it matters most. Yan ang importante. Steven Cadal knocking down that shot.
Coach Benji Todoro asking for a timeout. We're under the last 2 minutes, 1 minute and 59 seconds remaining here. Let's see this. Udal was obliging on that 20-footer. But Marikina still down here by 22 points. It's 98-76.
Para sa atlitang Pilipino.
Para sa kabataang Pilipino.
Para sa kababaihan, para sa pamilyang Pilipino.
sa kinabukasan.
At ito po ang MPBL Party List number 77 sa balota.
Head of Operations, Emma Roreta, Commissioner Kenneth Renes, Mayor Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz, and Head of Security, Rudy Discreto. You also have here, Boss Kaiser Galvez.
Yeah, Boss Kais.
Sa baba niya, Deo Timajo.
Getting ready for that next game.
Muntinlupa kontra Manila. Sa ating pangalawang laro ng ating first day triple header. Dito po sa Olivares College Gymnasium in Paranaque City. And again, happy to have you with us here. Ken Pangilinan with Coach Mike Perez. At courtside, we have Miss Sydney Crespo. And happy Labor Day. At mabuhay po sa lahat ng ating mga manggagawang Pilipino. At maraming salamat po sa patuloy na pagsuporta sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. And when we say Liga ng Bawat Pilipino, it doesn't pertain only to the players, it pertains to all of the people who hand in hand help become this league a successful one. We are on our 7th season. And you see Sabale put up a free, too strong. We have over 500 players now in the MPBL, but we also have the utility guys, the referees, the game officials, the statisticians, guys in the admin, the cameramen, the entire production crew, the coaches, the team owners. And you see someone down on the floor, Chadi Rangel, got popped in the mouth. Also our bouncers, also there to keep us safe. Chadi Rangel is up. Ray Bienes comes in. Among 6 guys in double figures in today's game, ito si Brandre Bienes with 13 points.
And yung shooting percentage itong mga scorers na ito in double digits para sa Mindoro Tamaraos, you know, just staggering. 83%, 66%, 50%, another 50%, and guys just really having a good shooting day, all because, you know, teammates find them. And dahil yan dito sa 28 assists na meron dito sa game na to. I mean, Marikina wasn't so bad at 21 assists, pero the timing of those 28 assists really told on the result of this game and really just favoring itong Mindoro.
And Coach Mike looking ahead for the Mindoro Tamaraos. They will move up to 4 wins, 6 losses. Next on their schedule is Davao Occidental, currently with a 2-2 record. And then on the 16th, Cebu Classic. So yung mga yan, mga kadikit nila in the team standings in the South Division, as finally Mindoro breaking the century mark. We have a timeout on the floor, a 25-point lead for the Tamaraos.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo, 50 si MB. Kahati mo, si Manny.
Next 3 games of Marikina. On the 7th, they will take on the One Bataan Risers. On the 16th, the Bulacan Cuyas, still winless so far. And on the 24th, a challenging task, taking on the MPBL Season 4 champions, the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, one of 2 teams currently on blemish with an 8-0 record. San Juan has 7 wins, no losses. Zabale, Sablay. Marikina, unfortunately, will fall down. to their 9th loss in 10 games. Silas Sabale, one of the homegrowns, able to get a basket. Manila Batang Quiapo, no? They are also at the bottom so far the team standings in the north. 1 win, 7 losses. And they have a daunting task on their hands. They will take on Muntinlupa. But a win there, they could separate themselves from Marikina with this impending loss.
And it's been quite a while since the last time those guys won.
June Manzo nasa loob para dito sa Mindoro to close out this game. And what a way for Mindoro to bounce back. And after they had that 4-game losing skid, Coach Mike, they have won 3 of their last 4.
And napakahalaga dito, lalo na early in the season, that you try and establish yourself, get a good rhythm, and so that come, you know, when it's most needed to win already, things are a little bit better. But you gotta be better as the season goes along.
And that's gonna do it for our first game. Mindoro Tamaraos prevailing over the Marikina Shoe Masters. Bam Bam Gamalinda bumida na naman para dito sa Mindoro. Best player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Well, the steady start actually of Bam Gamalinda, started that ball rolling for the Tamaraos. 13 points, 5 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Got 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and really just overall contribution from that disciplined guy for Mindoro.
And our final score, Marikina with 80 points, 101 naman para dito sa Mindoro. Let's go to Sid.
Yes, Ken and Coach Mike, we have Bam Bam Gamalinda, our best player of the game for Mindoro Tamaraos. Bam Bam, congratulations. Mula sa good effort nyo last game versus Pampanga, 24 points ka doon. Nagbunga ang lahat ng mga inayos nyo sa practices. Ano tong mga to na nakatulong sa panalo nyo ngayong araw?
First of all glory to God for this win. Natuto kami dun sa last game namin. Ayun nga, yung sinabi ko kanina, yung character ng team, chemistry, yung mga players, lumalabas na. Despite na natalo kami, so we learned from it, then na-convert namin today's game.
Bam Bam, you also helped set the tone for Mindoro Tamaraos in this game. No, you contributed in different departments, scoring, assists, rebounds. Tuloy-tuloy ang maganda mong contributions para sa Mindoro.
As one of the veterans kasi I need to be a good example sa practice. Yun nga, positive naman kasi yung mga bata sumasabay sa akin. And yun, yung outcome ng game. Kami lahat, collective effort nandun.
Bam Bam, sinong gusto mong batiin at baka gusto mong bumate na Labor Day ngayon?
Sa mga lahat ng mga tao natin, yung mga nagtatrabaho, mga kababayan natin, happy Labor Day sa inyo lahat. And also sa aming Mayora, Jennifer Ina Cruz, maraming salamat sa always yung pagsuporta. And kay Kong Arnan Panaligan, Bingo Plus, Goals Gym, Boss Ken, 2K Trading, Crossover, Entela, PR Ma'am Apparel, Municipality of Cola, and of course, family ko. Si nanay ko, si Papa Warren, si Papa Art, si Mama Digna, mga ate ko, mga kapatid ko, and of course, Sander, my son, and my wife, and also sa mga kababayan ko na nanonood dyan ngayon, sumusuporta sa Mindoro, sila Boss Ruel, Bacus, and Alibon, nandyan sila para sa akin. And my Transcend Performance Family and Alaric Fitness Center. And mga taga-Iligan City pala.
Alright, thank you so much, Sangre and Bam Bam, once again for joining me here. Our best player of the game is brought to us by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sid. Congratulations to Mindoro registering their 4th win. And up next, Muntinlupa Cagers. They will go up against the Manila Batang Quiapo, kaya manatiling nakatutok dito sa Marikina Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.
Ang hirap ng buhay na pinagdaanan ko, ayaw kong madaanan ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Kaya I hope na ang ating bansa umunlad, magkaisa tayo, ipagdasal natin ang ating mga leader dahil walang imposible sa Panginoon pag tayo ay nagdarasal. Nung ako ay naupong senador, hindi ko po talaga kinompromise yung posisyon ko kasi yung commitment ko sa taong bayan, manatiling commitment ko sa kanila habang ako'y pinagkakatiwalaan at nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno.
Masakit lang isipin, Mr. President, na ang programa na para sa mga mahihirap, tapos may mga tao na kumokontra. Kasi pagka maganda yung ginagawa para sa mga mahirap, dahil kalaban ka, kukontrahin ka. Nakakabuti naman sa taong bayan. Pagkakalaban ka, ganun. Kaya walang progreso, walang kaunlaran ang bansa natin dahil after ng administrasyon ng isang leader, pag mapalitan siya, hindi ipagpatuloy yung programa niya na maganda para sa taong bayan. Pagkatapos naman ng isa, yung magandang programa niya, mahinto na naman, ibang programa na naman. Bakit hindi natin suportahan? Kahit na ba, ang isang politiko, ang puso para talaga sa taong bayan o tumulong, kung maganda yung programa, dapat suportahan na lang. Ang problema, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda. Lahat ba yung mga programa ng mga nakaraang leaders ay hindi maganda? Pagdating sa mga mahihirap, nasasaktan ako pagka binabatikos yung mga programa para sa kanila. Diyan ako galing sa pagiging mahirap. Yung walang makain sa isang araw. Naranasan ko yun. Kaya ako, anumang narating ko, anumang pera, anong halaga ang nakamtan ko sa buhay, hindi mahalaga para sa akin yan. Ang importante, makatulong ako sa taong bayan, makatulong ako sa kapwa ko. We came to this world naked, and we will depart alone and naked. Wala tayong madalala. Iiwanan natin lahat yan. Ipaglalaban ko ang karapatan ng mga mahirap na tao.
Atin itong bansa, gusto ko po na tayong lahat nagtutulungan para umunlad ang ating bansa, para umasinso ang bawat Pilipino. Mga kababayan ko, mga nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno, magkaisa tayo, isipin natin na ang mga kababayan natin nagugutom, nahihirapan. Yung iba, walang sariling tahanan, natutulog sa kalye lamang. Tayo, lahat ay pari-parihong tao, may puso na nararamdaman. Naway, bawat isa sa atin, lahat tayo, accountable tayo pagharap natin sa Panginoon. Lagi kong sinasabi, kahit ano pa, kayaman mo, kahit ikaw pa pinakasikat sa buong mundo, pag namatay tayo, wala tayong madadala kahit piso. Ang Manny Pacquiao, walang karapatan magipang kahit kanino. Dahil galing po ako sa hirap. Therefore, ang aking gagawin, tutulungan yung mga kasama kong naiiwan doon sa laylayan. Tutulungan sila. Ang dasal ko palagi sa kanila na umasinso din sila sa buhay at makaahon din, guminhawa sa buhay. Kaya tayong lahat, mga kababayan ko, sama-sama tayo, magkaisa tayo para sa pagunlad ng ating bansa. Tayong lahat magtutulungan.